Ready? You bet! Crystal control! Evil never dies. Sayonara, Cole, the Black Object. It's been a pleasure.
Well, let's make another season.
Oh, can I be on the season this time? No! It's because you are fucking lame losers, obviously!
For a while, this was the final ass season. But as time passed on, and oh boy, it really did, a new series came to light. And it was this series.
Kinda.
And as that new series came out, there was no need to keep track of how long it was between this series and the previous, as it was quite clear they were 6 months behind.
I counted 2.5.
Welcome, everybody. Cucumber Card here to tell you everything you've wanted to know for the past 6 months relating to a simple show Epilogue season. What was that stupid show's name again? So, first off, I want to say that the Epilogue is great. I mean, it's better than Evil Never Dies in 8 different kind of ways. Video ways! And also, these episodes are fucking short, But once the epilogue came to play, all these episodes were over 10 minutes long and very sexy. So what exactly is this epilogue season anyway? For a while, it was your average ass season taking place after the events of Evil Never Dies, and even sometimes before a simple show even started. What's that fucking word I never looked up in the dictionary? For some people, the word prologue stands for the story before the story. This one is a mixture of both a story after and a story before. As I, Cucumber Card, stated in the 3rd episode of the epilogue, it was 6 years between the timeline of the first season and the epilogue season. So your guess is as good as mine if that really is the case, or if I was just some crazy old card who made lots of shows. Probably that first one. As back in the old ass days, there were 5 contestants battling in 5 challenges, for 5's sake.
Well, I thought you were going to say that battling for $5.
But in the epilogue season, they weren't really battling for anything. That's the beauty of the show. The show aspect is there, thus all of this shizer. But as a challenge, there wasn't really a challenge. There was no money to be spread out as in the later seasons. That was because there was no challenge. As again, 6 years passed between the 2 shows, and of course I ran out of prizes to give. And it probably has something to do with the transportation process, which is what everyone's so fucking confused about, so let me enlighten you guys. On the channel I've made a few outtake-like videos of scenes from episodes 1 and 2 about the transportation thingy-doodle. This is what I do with my life? This one especially showcases it all, as the first 2 seconds show this fine text. Somewhere between Evil Never Dies and this season, which is the epilogue. That's just what it was called in post-production. I don't know, fuck you, words are hard. Where Cole talks about his evil doings after he survived the space colony arc destruction. And Olive is in the original world. The world taken place in Evil Never Dies, which is also where I was, I think, I don't know. And then we have the other outtake video thing. This one probably makes more sense than the other one, which you could say would take place during episode 6 of Evil Never Dies, where Cole is, well, alive, and me, Cucumber Card, gets flung into the other dimension. And thus that very first scene in the epilogue makes sense now. Really, if you're binging, you should probably watch this one in between, so then you kind of get the idea of it. Also, Cole plays it out like he's changed, when really he's just Cole. And then there's me, Cucumber Card, who gets flung into space like some kind of cucumber dumbass card. Oh, you guys should never know my middle name! And then once I get flung into the space, Cole and his team have a little fiesta, which is off screen apparently. Let's just say it looks a little something like this. Oh, I really wanted to be there. But alas, with those few outtake things, the epilogue was still a blur to most people. And I think the one key component of that has to be our new contestant friend, Cosmo. Oh yes, Cosmo. Clearly new boundaries make for new characters who eventually die. I think that's what happened anyway. But Cosmo was created because of Darkoak being related. Yes, Cosmo has daddy issues, just like Cucumber Card, where you don't know that. Because Cosmo's first encounter with the crew was when Netball, Dice, and Smoothie were watching a solar eclipse. And Cosmo's spaceship came flying down. And of course, the friends had to help her. And I'd probably just fuck her, but, you know, saving first, I guess. In fact, where the fuck was I? And that's why I was back in the old world. Wait, we covered that? Okay, great. Once Cosmo told the group what everything was all about, that was when the show got going, throughout all of the shit. And this one too, I guess. Let's talk about episode 11 now. Good place to start than any. Episode 11 is a breakaway between episodes 10 and 12 in the show. But of course there were still a lot of questions about what the other group were doing in that episode, as this is the only episode where nobody else shows up except me, Cole, and Cole's team. And this guy. Stupid this guy. Although episode 11 is the one people consider to be the least canon in the episodes, because none of it shows up in episode 12 and the status quo just kind of reverses, I think it's important for an upcoming series I've got in mind, but more on that later. Or never. But ultimately, if the people want answers, you could get answers. But who cares about stupid answers, right? I'm going to go back to fapping. Ow! So episode 11 exists just for, well, the sake of it, I guess. It's better than nothing. I mean, find a single thing that's canon in this episode. I kind of doubt you could. You will never. Never you will never. And then the final few episodes of The Ass more or less showcase Darkoak's true colours and Cosmo's true shame. Shade? Fuck you. It more or less revolves around Earthfire story. She tells Dice, Vimto, and Olive and Ors about the evil Darkoak. Which is good, you should probably watch it, but I'm not. After that, the rest of the episode is just substandard. Which, now that I'm saying that out loud, is accurate. I mean, Cosmo's upset about all the controlling Darkoak's doing to her and stuff. Which reminds me, where was Cole in this episode? Oh yeah, that's right. Cole and his crew got arrested by Darkoak. Uh-oh. This probably has something to do with episode 11. Or just something that they just decided to just do anyway. Your guess is as good as mine, but it's good to see Cole get what he deserves after all of the episodes where Cole is bad. Real bad. Bad Cole. Bad Cole. Bad Cole. Bad. And then we have the last two episodes, episode 13 and 14 of the Earth. This one is interesting, as it kicks things right off the balls with a Cosmo-centered story to begin the episode. Cosmo and her sister look upon her mother, who's a tree, because, yeah, Darkoak probably fucked her, I don't know. So clearly this is how the episode more or less corresponds with the rest of it. I mean, even if Cosmo was kind of dreaming, I don't really know what happened there, I guess. Funny joke. Cole escapes out of the bad stuff and then joins the group like nothing happened in episode 12 or something. But again, your guess is as good as mine. And now I'm going to go bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. And then we have episode 14. This one is very good. I mean, the first minute and 15 seconds is exposition, explaining, and stuff. But then the show gets going with the events from the last one taken into place. Cosmo gets attacked by Olive and Ghost, and Darkoak escapes, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't like this guy, but he's kind of a dick, so whatever. Well, yeah, Cosmo's a star now. Netball is upset about Cosmo leaving because they actually formed a really great bond over the epilogue episodes. I mean, episode 10 showcases that very well, really. Episode 7 is where that love spell happens, and then they just kind of become sexual partners, I guess. That episode was weird! Oh my god, it was so stupid, oh my god! Everything between that was just Netball and Cosmo sexual moments are just kind of there. A good example of this is probably in Netball's Best Of episode, where you can show off all of the Netball and Cosmo shenanigans as you want, and it would be funny. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah. They also show up in Cosmos as well, because when two people do the same thing, it's kind of hot, so yeah. Okay, and now the final thing to cover in the epilogue that you viewers have been wanting to know. Who were the characters? As there are some characters in here who are very disguised, you probably didn't know that they were in the show the whole time because they were hidden. So what are they exactly? Of course we have our main group, me, Olive, Toxic Rocks, Dice, Smoothie, and Netball. Why is Netball not in any of these thumbnails, for fuck's sake? And Cosmo, who joins our sexy group as well, because, again, like I mentioned before, Cosmo's a good object. And then she died. Oh! Now I'm dying too, no! We also have Cole, as per usual. Cole did not die on Evil Never Dies, and he's been in all these episodes except for 2. Episodes 7 and 9, where I guess we just hated Cole that day. In fact, even Darkoak didn't show up in episode 7, which is the only one he didn't show up in, really. Really. But who else is involved in the ass production exactly? Let's take a look at Cole's team. So Vimto's part of Cole's team, and Ghost, who was a crystal-controlled object from episode 5, was also in Cole's team. But they're not the only ones. As from Evil Never Dies, 2 other objects were there. Or 3. First we have Boone, who of course is Wubba Ball from Object Show 64 in the bluish font with yellow eyes. I mean, I do like the design, but I just wish we did more of this fucking guy. I mean, there was a whole B plot where Boone and Vimto were, crossing paths with each other all the time because, Vimto just wanted some insight about Cole, and from episode 6 onwards, they just kind of dumped that plot, I guess. I don't know, we could have done more of that, but again, fuck you. I'm sorry, that was mean. I love you guys. And then we have Spyco and Zago, who were Cole's other two henchmen in his team, and have shown up in all the episodes Cole has because obviously no duh. But who are these two mysterious characters? People have been wondering for oh so long. And buddy boy, I have the answers for you inside this vacant flesh. She's also my mind. People have been speculating that not every object's shown up because they've been in disguise. They've been hidden, and so all the other objects just haven't been showing up. Like we've had Witch Hat and Rusty Stick show up in both End and Now, and Brick Bible and Small Cube as well. Even though I said Small Ball by accident in episode 2, and that's always going to haunt me. Haunt me it will, yes it will, yeah it will haunt me, oh my god! But who are these two objects? Well, let me lighten it for you. First we have Spyco, who's actually Twinzer from the third series. He's the guy who kept mustering his words like so of course Twinzer is Spyco, and because he's been turned into Spyco, he lost his muttering, but you can still hear the voice sometimes. I mean, we almost did it, but it wasn't that funny. Episodes would have been longer because this fucking guy talks like a lot or never, depending on who cares. Then we have Spyco. Spyco and Zago, do. Spyco is actually Circle from the third season. Wow, a lot of third season guys here. So obviously, Circle and Twinzer were here the whole time. Apparently, for some reason, Spyco is like a massive ass object, whereas Zago stayed relatively the same size. Sometimes looking big on purpose because whatever, I guess. And that is Cole's evil team. From Evil Never Dies to the now, it's always been Cole, Twinzer, and Circle. And nowhere in between. So that pretty much wraps up everything you need to know or have been wanting to know about the ass epilogue. So it took me 6 months to make it, but again, all of this research was hard. But we've finally got it out, and now you can sleep easier. Hold on. Easier knowing all of the facts about the ass. And about me, Cucumber Card also, I guess. Olive, Toxic Box, Dice, and Smoothie. And a netball too. Wow, this guy show hates netball. He's not in any of these fucking thumbnails at all. So, thanks for watching, you sexy people. I have been Cucumber Card, your sexy host, who's yellow. Actually, I'm green. But anyway, goodbye, people. I'm now going to go back to sitting and contemplating on the ass.
When will the nightmare music end?